Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 3 of This Week in Raider Basketball. I'm Nick Rush, and today let's talk about the schedule and how the Riverdale Raiders have been doing thus far in the regular season. They've fallen upon some hard times, but they got off to a good pace during the Gulf Shore Holiday Hoop Fest, which took place over the winter break. And we'll talk about that to begin the episode. Riverdale started the Holiday Hoop Fest on December 26 when they defeated the Immokalee Indians by a 46-45 score. Very close game. Immokalee, they've had some struggles this season. They are currently 1-15, so they've definitely had some hard times, and they somehow managed to keep up with the Riverdale Raiders, but very fortunately, Riverdale had some great breaks in the game, and they were able to come away with the 1-point win. Riverdale continued a night later when they took on Fort Lauderdale, where they went down by 20 points. That put their count at 1-1 in the Hoop Fest. Fort Lauderdale, as of right now, as I record this episode, they are 7-10. They are coached by Richard Belton. Riverdale continued on with that 1-1 record in the tournament with a win against Monsignor Pace. That was a game that went to overtime. Riverdale was able to once again get some great momentum where they won 81-77. So overall, that did it for the Riverdale Raiders in the Gulf Shore Holiday Hoop Fest. They played 3 games, ended up 2-1. So it's great that they were able to defeat Monsignor Pace to end the tournament off of a high note. Monsignor Pace from Miami, Florida. They are 7-10 on the season. After the tournament, Riverdale, they traveled over to Northport to take on the Bobcats, where they were defeated 52-47. That has to hurt for the Raiders. Northport Bobcats, of course, like you may know, are big division rivals with the Raiders. And just like that, you see here in this case, Northport is able to sweep the series. Previously, when the two teams played, they met on December 8th. Riverdale fell to Northport 56-52. Both games were pretty close, but either way, Northport able to come away with the victory, and those 2 wins for the Bobcats are going to be huge in the long run. And after that is where we are right now. Your next contest is going to be at home on January 12th. Riverdale is going to be taking on the Gulf Coast Sharks. Once again, division rivals with the Raiders, who have played with the Raiders before. You remember back on December 11th, the two teams met at Gulf Coast High School. Riverdale fell 59-48. Riverdale this season, when it comes to playing in the district, they are 0-3. Overall, they are 7-9 on your 2015-16 regular season schedule. So that's going to be a big game on January 12th. To be exact, that's going to be this Tuesday at 7 p.m. at Riverdale High School, the Raider Rock Gym. Be sure to come out to the game. Tickets are going to be $4 for each and every seat, as always. So be sure to come out, cheer on your Raiders, because they definitely need this win against Gulf Coast. It's very tight in the standings right now. Raiders look like they're falling a little bit behind in Class 7A District 12, and let's take a look at how that is going. Northport and Gulf Coast, they are tied up, deadlocked in a 9-win, 9-loss overall record, and Riverdale is at the bottom, 7-9. So the season's not over yet. There's still a nice amount of games. Let's see here. Including our next game against Gulf Coast, Riverdale has 7 more games on the schedule. So if they could get some lucky bounces and they can get those wins, I feel like they definitely can make a comeback. But, you know, it's not going to be easy, of course. Riverdale is going to be playing some Big opponents here upcoming. Overall, the schedule is going to end on January 28th, or the regular season at least, when the Raiders are going to be on the road to take on North Fort Myers. But either way, the Riverdale Raiders, they have a lot of work to do. And from here, we can just sit back and only see what happens. Only time can tell. But once again, be sure to come out on January 12th to see the Riverdale Raiders take on the Gulf Coast Sharks. It's going to be a fun game if you can't make it out. There will be a play-by-play audio broadcast online on the channel that you are watching. Nick Rush, as always, signing out here. Thank you all for listening in to episode number 3 of This Week in Raider Basketball. We'll see how Riverdale can do against Gulf Coast, but for now, we will see you at the game. Thanks for listening, and so long.